All right, so now that people can actually hear me, right?
Yes.
Tom, let's go.
All right, you got to start it.
Kidding. It's 10 minutes. Okay. Welcome everyone to the first live episode of We'll Run For, our podcast. I guess I'm your host, Tom. With me are Aaron.
Hi.
Diana.
Hi.
And Michael.
Hello.
All right. Michael's our resident sex kitten. Yeah. And so welcome everyone. I guess I don't know how much you heard earlier, but I think a good topic for today would be since a lot of the races that we would be doing or have been canceled or postponed, and to stay motivated. There are virtual races out there that you can register for. So we just wanted to bring that up as our first topic of discussion. What does everybody think about virtual races? Are we for them? Are we against them?
I think that this all came up because we were talking about, you guys did an actual in-person race, which we will discuss on the next episode. So you guys will have to listen for their review of that. And then Michael and I did the 100K adventure that we kind of made up. It wasn't really an official virtual race, but it was kind of the same concept of doing something to keep ourselves motivated and having a goal. So we were talking about what keeps us motivated during the time that races aren't happening in real life anymore. And so that's how virtual races came up. So I will say for me, I was never a virtual race person until this year.
Same.
I did a couple of them for charity because they were for charity, but other than that, I never really got into them. I like medals, but I like them for doing races where I cross the finish line. I'm not necessarily all about the virtual bling. I know a lot of people are, and that's great. That keeps them motivated. It just wasn't necessarily for me. I liked to cross the finish line and get my medal. But, times being what they are.
I was always one of those people that always kind of saw it because this is the way I would do it. Is I was basically paying for a medal, and sometimes I would do the miles and sometimes I wouldn't. So I was never very, good at actually doing the virtual race. So I always looked at it, oh, hey, I'm just paying, $50 and they're going to send me a medal whether I do the miles or not. So I was never super motivated by them until now.
I agree with that. I mean, I feel like, I don't know, like even now in doing them, when I signed up, I did a 50K, and that 50K was tough because I had all month to do it. So it was like all of June to get it done. And when I was out there on the trail, it was kind of like, well, this isn't going well. I could just quit. Whereas you would never have that mentality. I could just do it a different day. You'd never have that mentality if you were at an actual race.
Yeah, I'm signed up for Soul of the City in Baltimore this year, and it went virtual. And the actual date it was supposed to happen was yesterday. So I think we're supposed to do the 10K, either Saturday or Sunday this week. And we were obviously up there with you guys, so I didn't do it. So I'm thinking, maybe I'll do it next week. And then I'm also signed up to do the Wonder Woman 10K with friends. I think if I'm with friends and I'm running with people, I'm more motivated, but I'm almost thinking I'm probably just going to run that 10K once and count it for both. And I would never do that in real life.
Well, that's true.
So in the chat, Greg in Orlando was explaining the dopey marathon he did is 52 or 53 loops around his complex.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Why?
And Ryan is hoping to sign up for the NYC virtual on Tuesday. For him, it depends on the race. And I said I think we were going to do the virtual Big Sur because we were signed up for it this year, and this would have been my third straight year. So I love running a race, and I just want to kind of support them. So I've been a little more judicious with my virtuals than you have, but
yeah, I've kind of signed up for a bunch of them because I did. I'm doing a couple long ones. Like Tom is doing the race across Maryland. I signed up for the Tennessee one, which was the original one that Laz
The
did.
OG.
Yeah, and then everyone else was like, "Oh, we should create one going across our state." So I did that one, and then I'm doing the Pacific Coast Trail one with the girls that I was talking about from the Sparkle Squad, from Sparkle Athletic.
Yeah.
So
you guys actually made a great point about like even just like supporting like anything Charm City Run is doing right now. Tom and I are like just throwing money at them because we love them so much and we don't want them to be in trouble. So like anytime they do anything virtual, and we signed up for like a training group just so like we can like throw some money their way.
Yeah.
That's right. And Ryan's in the middle of the California Coast 500. I've been seeing him post that on like Instagram and Strava, of course.
Yeah.
I like seeing I think he does the Google Street View photos for that as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I've seen on them on all.
That's
the
a cool way to do it. I like that. It's a neat way to go through it.
I don't know. I'm a sucker for bling, so
yeah.
If there's a race and it has a medal, I'll probably sign up for it. But to Diana's point about like Charm City Run, we want these businesses to be around when things open back up, no, I'm not gonna say it. when races return to their regular size, so yeah, we want to support them because it's got to be tough. I mean, they're trying to put on one of the things you cannot put on, these mass,
I mean, like the Wine and Dine was just canceled and they went virtual. So that's been, obviously a big thing because, they're giving gift cards back so that people are getting somewhat of a partial refund. They're giving Disney gift cards, but the amount of money that they're giving back, for the challenge is like, I think $100.
Yeah,
and so, it's still $275 virtual then, even with that, taking that into account. I mean, so I guess that's the other question is what are you willing to pay in order to do a virtual? Like, are you
interesting question.
willing to pay full price?
I think some of them are absolute cash grabs. Like, I love a Disney race and I love the quality of Disney medals, and just their swag is awesome. But like when the Disney Summer Series 5K, was coming out, like I feel like it's expensive for a race that you're not getting any on-course support from Disney. And I'll also say that some races, it makes no sense to go virtual. Like here in Maryland, there's a 10K across the bay, which goes over the Chesapeake Bay Bridge. And they started doing construction. They've always been doing construction on that bridge. They were doing construction, and for 1 year, they couldn't do it. So they tried to make that race go virtual. The really only draw to doing a 10K across the bay is that you can on foot run across that bridge.
Yeah, there's no other reason.
Yeah, I'm not going to pay to do that in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like, so some races, like if the major draw is like, the location or how visually, interesting it is or just the experience, going virtual really doesn't make any sense.
I mean, that's like Boston, right? Like what, can you imagine doing Boston virtually?
My thing, well, I think some of those, don't you maintain status if you do it every year or something like that? I don't know how it really works, but like,
not
like perfect Boston or something and then get grandfathered in. So you have to run it?
No, Boston's
New
not.
York does that.
Yeah, no, New York actually got rid. Well, I think New York does have it, but you have to do it for like 10 years or it's a lot of years in a row. Whereas like Marine Corps do it 5 years and you get automatic entry. New York, I think, does have an automatic entry, but it's like a really large number, like 10 to 15 of them that you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Boston. I'm not sure if Boston. I don't know if anybody knows if Boston has that, but I think because it's a qualifying race, I don't think it has that.
Yeah, I have no idea.
We're not we're not fast enough to
experts.
Know that.
I don't know why anyone would come to us for advice.
Yeah.
Like, I'm drinking a beer. So, but like to answer your original question, Aaron,
Cheers.
about like how much I would pay, like I would not pay full price for a virtual race because like, I don't know, I think it's not worth it. But like, depending on like the swag, I would pay like, I pay more than like $30 for it. Like I'm thinking about signing up for the Charles Street 12 just because I think the premium's like cute this year. So, but I don't know how much that is. I could look at it and say that jacket's not worth whatever the cost is, but I haven't looked yet.
But if your race was canceled and you've already put out the money, so like New York City, for example, you've already paid the money. They clearly can't host the race. You know, they gave an option for deferral, but the deferral, there's no guaranteed year, which year you're going to get it, like 21, 22, or 23.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you defer, but they don't guarantee you'll get into 2021. So would you pay the premium to do the virtual race then, because you don't know whether or not you're going to be able to run it? What year they're not telling you what year you're going to run it.
So if you're deferring, are you deferring and paying something still, or are you deferring for free?
That I didn't read all of the details. I believe that you get a refund and then you're guaranteed entry for 21, 22, or 23.
Gotcha.
So quickly back to the chat. Lisa was saying virtual doesn't work for her because she needs to be shamed into running. So
yeah, that's true.
It works.
I've seen it.
Melissa was saying Disney's only worth the money if you're actually there, which I think we all kind of agree with.
Yeah, I mean, their stuff is so like it looks great and it's great quality, but like
I do like the villains.
It's only worth so much.
I
do really love the villains theme this year, though. Did you see the Wine and Dine medals and stuff?
Medal, and I'm really sad I'm not going to get it.
I love the 10K shirt with Ursula.
And let's see, Ryan was saying Chicago has the legacy thing for 5 years. He believes.
Yeah, because I think one of our friends, Robert, has legacy there for that reason.
Oh yeah, I believe so. Yeah. And
I'm trying to get MCM legacy.
Greg would do the Boston virtual if they offered it to us plebes.
I also think if it's a charity that you want to support,
I agree. Yeah,
and it goes like virtual, I mean, you can still. I mean, you're still just getting a run in.
Definitely,
your money's going to something.
Like we did the we did the Aravipa marathon early on, which is Jamil Carey's running company.
He's an ultra runner,
but like it's that's his business, and like we felt that would be good. And then there was some charity ones too.
Well, I did the Beast Pacing one because so Beast Pacing is Vanessa and John. They are the ones who are the race directors for the Batona race that Michael and I talk about all the time. And so they have a small business as well. They do pacing at races across the country. But obviously, since there's not any races, they're not pacing anything. So they're doing virtual races as well. So I did one of their virtuals to support them. So I do agree with what you said about, if there's some local people that you want to support, it's definitely important to try and make sure you're supporting them so that, when race directors are able to have them, they're still around.
Yeah.
So are you doing MCM virtual this year?
I forgot I signed up. Yes, I forgot I signed up for that.
Oh, are you?
Yes.
Oh, well, there you go.
Because, and I'm not 100% sure it's true, but I heard that it counts towards Runners Club. And since I'm trying to get legacy, and if I can do that without having to physically go down there and do it, and like I said, I haven't been able to confirm that anywhere. And when I asked the question directly, I guess they're so swamped with questions that I just got an automated response that said that they'd get back to me within 2 to 4 weeks to answer my question.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of races anyway, I like to divert from virtual. So I may or may not have run Marine Corps at one time. And
maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I'm not like super keen on huge races, like with lots of people. Like Disney, I can deal with because you're doing it. It's like the character stop thing and stuff like that. But in general, like I don't have any interest in like New York or Chicago. I like Marine Corps was great and all, but I probably wouldn't run it again. I like DC a lot. It's a beautiful city and all, but I don't have any interest in those kind of races. For me, those races don't hold any appeal like the big city ones. They just they're too much of a logistics hassle to deal with. And
that's the only reason I haven't
too
done
many
Boston.
people. I agree. Yeah, exactly.
That's the only reason why I haven't
That's the only reason.
The only reason I haven't run the Boston Marathon is because of the crowds.
I love both, though. I mean, I love the small trail races, but then I also did New York City Marathon, and that was hands down the most amazing experience. I mean, it's just, and Marine Corps I go back to because it was my first marathon.
Yeah,
and
so special.
It's just special to me.
I get that.
So it's something that I want to be able to do whenever I want. So I just want to do the 5 so that I can just do it whenever I want for the rest of my life.
Energy of a big race, like it just keeps me motivated. And I'm like an average pace runner, lower than average pace runner. So if I'm in like a big race, like all of a sudden magically I'm in the middle. If I'm in a small race, I'm like the last person to finish.
Yeah.
So like I think a big race, like for us, like averagey runners, like it feels good.
I also kind of don't like music on the course.
Oh.
So like I get really
God.
Yeah. He's
I know
miserable. Haven't we had this conversation?
Like,
He's miserable. He's miserable.
Grumpy cat as a human.
like I really get annoyed when it's super loud music when you're running. I'm like,
God.
oh dear God, can we
I
just
love it. I'm like dancing.
Can we just run, please?
I
Can
like
we
it
just
both,
run?
though. I like both sides of it.
I feel like I can only handle it at Disney, and even there, I don't. When they used to have that DJ by the Wide World of Sports, the Out and Back by Wide World of Sports there, or whatever it is, man, I hated that a lot. It was so loud. I hated that a lot.
No, I love it. New York City. If anyone ever gets a chance to run that, I know it's super hard to get into, but I mean the 2 million people. It was raining that day, and I'm telling you, all 2 million spectators still showed up to spectate that race.
I love that.
I mean, it was just incredible. There was not a moment you felt alone in that race. And I know that's not what you like, but that's the whole point. He wants to be alone and miserable.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I like Shamrock and Virginia Beach, and we've done it like 4 years running now or something.
Yeah, I think so. 3-4 years. I don't know.
It's my absolute favorite thing. It's a tradition. I get to run it with Lisa, which is just icing on the cake. Me and Diana partner swap with Lisa and Chris, and it's so much fun, and the on-course support, the music, everything about it, the crowds, the after party. It's one of my favorite times of the year.
Yeah, I love spectators. I mean, I actually one of my very favorite things to do, or that I've done recently, is last year I spectated the Philadelphia Marathon, and my friend Amanda was a giant eagle, like a big blow up eagle. We got a big blow up costume, and we inflated her. And I had a sign that said, "Have you seen my bird?" And I stood kind of in front of her, and she flapped her wings behind me. So as everyone went by, they'd read my sign and be super confused. And then they'd look up and see Amanda flapping her wings. And the amount of people that laughed at us, the joy that you can bring people, it was so much fun. And it was because I have had that experience from people on the course. And so it was so fun to give that back. And so that's why I like the big races.
Yeah.
But I also like little trail races too. So, I like variety.
I get that.
But back to the virtual. Some of these virtuals, like New York, Marine Corps, all of them are requiring you to submit times, and with actual data. So New York Marathon is signed into Strava. So you can submit your time through Strava if you're on Strava. So a lot of these races are not just virtually hey, just do what you want. You have to actually submit times.
Unless you try to do it this past week on Garmin.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true.
Kind of SOL there.
Yeah, well,
I'm going to say that's why I haven't run in a few days. It's because Garmin's down. You don't know what I've been doing.
I'm going to say I successfully finished 100K because there's no proof I didn't.
There's no proof.
There's no proof. I totally didn't.
I'm just going to add you to mine.
Oh, that's right, because he's a Sunto guy.
Yes.
Oh my.
Oh, gotta be different.
Anyone got anything to say over there in the chat?
Yeah. Let's see. Lisa said she like Diana needs lots of people. So somebody will be behind her.
Oh, I see my friend Melissa from my PCT.
Yes. Is she saying the PCT one supports national parks possibly?
Yes.
Okay. And Greg is looking to go back to LA for a marathon, 22 or 23 after he tumbled this year. So he's looking at some ultras and stuff, because I would say in the next year, you're going to have more luck with the trail races than you are the larger road races.
I think he was supposed to do his first ultra in September. I don't know if he's... Are you still doing that, Greg?
Ryan said his favorite event of the year is Dopey.
Yeah, so great.
Which I get. I really... like, Disney Marathon was my first marathon. And so I took did I take 2 years off or one? 1 year off from it.
I like how I know that answer.
And then I went back and I learned how to run it in a more fulfilling way.
Fulfilling.
Where you actually have fun and aren't miserable?
Yeah.
Where you ride a roller coaster and listen to us very loudly yelling?
Well, I would say it was maybe not that fulfilling. But this year
How long did you make it?
7 hours.
DMD? 7 hours with them? Like, when did you leave them?
Oh,
he left us many times.
Actually, I left at the end, definitely. But I left a lot because they were so slow. They were just so slow. And it was hot out. So that year was hot and last year was hot, but it wasn't as hot as this year. But
well, we tried to have him go run up because
I ran
faster.
up and did the
he
pictures.
Is faster, so
yeah.
he ran up.
Yeah.
He was our person who ran to get in line for the
picture
characters.
shots,
Yeah. So I ran up to the characters, or I ran up to the shade and sat in the shade.
Yeah, which he
And
was like,
waited.
thank God.
At one point, I was sitting on a bench for like 15 minutes, and I think people were like, "Did you quit?" And I'm like, "No, I'm just like, waiting for somebody." I'm just waiting, basically.
Who was that person on Team Shenanigans that started in like A or B, but like had so much time he like went into Rose and Crown and like ordered food and like watched all of American Adventure.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know.
Like in the like that's like a 40-minute show.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat from Team Shenanigans might know who that was.
That's funny. I know that Ryan and Ian from Team Shenanigans did. They were probably up there in one of those corrals, and then their challenge was to do as many rides as they could. So I think they did like
they did a bunch. Yeah, I remember hearing about
did like
that.
6.
Yeah.
I remember when I was doing Dopey on the marathon. Just like my goal was, I wasn't going to stop for anything until I got for Everest.
Greg said that was Darren.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Adventure.
Yeah, Darren. Yeah, that makes sense.
Darren.
And he's doing. I don't remember if this was before I screwed up the audio or after. He's doing he's doing a 12-hour ultra with 4 people from Shenanigans. That's virtual now.
Mark and Megan are doing that then.
Oh, okay. They're doing.
Okay. That's Mark and Megan. I don't know who else from
That's
Shenanigans
really cool.
is doing it, but I know Mark and Megan had signed up for it because I remember it's by the same race director that does the long haul or long whatever, the one that's after the weekend after the Disney Marathon.
Oh yeah,
that I talked about doing. I was going to do my first 100 the week after the Disney Marathon because people are smart.
You're insane.
I ran my first double the week after Disney Marathon.
Yeah, that's right.
I got 5,000 steps this week. Guys.
Wait, you're going to drive?
It's ridiculous. I told you how fresh you looked after 33 miles. Like if I had just completed that, it would be an ambulance picking me up, and we would be doing this from a hospital.
Well, something we didn't tell on that show was like a large contingent of motorcycles went by.
Oh gosh, yes.
And like the first guy, I could see the first guy like must have like hit his Bluetooth or something and called somebody, because all of a sudden I see somebody coming it was like 30 or 40 motorcycles and or 30 or 40 sets of bikers or whatever. So they're rolling. The one guy comes rolling up. He's like, yeah. And like I see him saying like, you okay, and I'm like, oh yeah, like just
this was when we were
we're sitting on the side of a road in Laurel, New Jersey,
waiting for you guys to pick us up. We're waiting for our personal Uber, and we're sitting on the side, like right by the woods line, and these bikes just come flying by, and there were so many of them.
Yeah, but I was like,
no, bikers club.
They probably thought you were going to murder her. Like,
yeah, like nah, we're fine.
Step 1,
yeah,
a 5-step process to like kill Aaron in the woods.
Yeah, it's been the long game. That's why he ran with me the first time.
I'm kind of interested because what I'm interested, what keeps us all motivated? Like I need to have a goal to work towards, or something where I can chip away at it each day.
Yeah.
Which is why that virtual challenge, that 250 miles over 60 days, because that gives me a goal to do something every single day. And it passes the time, I'm just interested in what keeps people motivated, when there's not an event coming up. So
I don't know.
Any all listeners out there, like, even if it's not running related, if it's what keeps you working out, what keeps you walking, what keeps you moving, just anything that just keeps you doing something when you don't necessarily have a payoff, I'd be interested in what keeps you motivated.
For me, obviously it is the virtual stuff right now because that's what we've got. I'm not as willing as some people to travel as much. It's just the circumstances that I'm in. I don't feel like super comfortable. So, I'll travel to, obviously Maryland is one of those states that have been, hasn't had huge increases. But I'm not going to go to like Florida or Texas or like Arizona right now. We assume we're not going to the marathon weekend at this point, but we just don't know. But having something on the schedule is for sure something that I need. Like I need something, because otherwise, I don't know. Even if it's a make your own adventure like the 100K that we did, I just need something.
Yeah, I think the make your own adventures are good, but that's like an interesting question as well. Like we were talking about it, I think, over breakfast this morning when we were all together. What the odds were that
nope, can't see it.
I
don't know.
I took a great sunset picture. It was a great sunset, so I ran out of the room and took a picture.
I was like, "What?" He said, "I'm taking a picture," and I'm like, "I thought he was taking a picture of us."
No.
And then he like ran out the room.
No, it was a great sunset.
Anyway, back to what we were talking about at breakfast.
Yeah, we were talking over breakfast about the marathon weekend in Disney in January, and like, I think most of us, did all four of us think it was going to get canceled? Does anyone that's listening think it's actually going to happen in person? Any?
No, and
thoughts?
Just so you know, Tom just asked everyone in chat what keeps them motivated when there's not races around. Like what keeps us going?
Yeah.
So that's what people are going to be answering right now. Since you ran out of the room to get a sunset picture.
I also wanted to say the thing that we're not allowed to say.
You are not allowed to say it.
When he was out of the room, I was like, can I say? I just want to say it.
I would edit it out.
The live people would hear. So we have, as a podcast, just, because you don't want to dance around this, we have decided that the conversation about some of the current events is something we're not.
Let's be real. I've banned the words "the new normal." I have banned the words
in these unprecedented
times. I have banned the words.
It's not just you. I have said it as well. So it's just something that we're not comfortable with. People I listen to some podcasts and I listen to them to escape the world, not to talk so much. Yeah. So we really want to keep it running related. And we understand that obviously it affects everything, including the running world, because obviously everything's canceled, but we don't want to get too heavy into it. So we're shying away from that.
And you guys are going to hear me complain a lot about not wanting to run, but I don't want you guys to hear me complain about things that are happening in the world.
Yeah.
Like it would just be too much.
So I feel like complaining about. What's that?
We laid some ground rules when we were putting this thing together. We were like, okay, so no pandemic, because you get that everywhere else you look. No politics, same reason. No potty mouths.
Which is really challenging for Diana and I. We're not going to lie.
It's really hard, guys.
And you can't be too drunk.
No promises.
There was a rule.
There's us too.
Yeah, there was a line for drunkenness, and
we can have a drink while recording, but like the wasted part is probably not. It's funny for the person who's wasted, usually not for the listeners or the people having to deal with it.
Definitely not for the person who's going to edit the show later.
I feel like it's fine. But our friend Kate, she just actually texted me. She's like, I can't figure out the chat, but she says nothing in particular keeps me motivated. I just like to sweat and work. I'm going to shoot for 6 miles after work this week just because she wants to. So
nice.
I love that. Get at it. You've been working hard and your pace has gotten really fast. So I'm a little jealous because I feel like I'm just getting fatter and lazier and I need to work harder. So you're my new motivation.
Yay, Kate. What else is going on over there in chat? I see a few things that have popped up.
Let's see. Melissa just has a virtual long race go, and also she has a step goal. That,
step goals. Good.
Yeah, step goals are good.
And the Apple Watch rings, of course.
Yeah, I know. I think it was Donna or Anita that was our friends that did an entire, I think it was maybe Anita, a whole year of 12 months of every single day closing all of her rings on Apple Watch.
Oh,
wow.
I love that.
I mean, I have no idea what that means because I don't have an Apple Watch, but I hear it's impressive.
Yeah.
Greg
and
does.
Step goal's good. That's why, like Tom and I always end up like doing laps around our apartment at 10:30 at night because we're like, oh, we've got like 300 more steps we have to get.
Greg does weekly check-ins on MyFitnessPal for the last year. So since he reached his maintenance range weight, he's kind of just doing that because it keeps him like kind of accountable.
Yeah, Greg, I feel like I need to powwow with you because I did so well. I lost like a ton of weight. And just in the last year or so, I've like put it all back on and I've just like lost my motivation. My diet's gotten worse. Like I just need to like get back in gear and like just seeing you post and so many people posting about, I've lost this much weight and I'm keeping it off and I'm feeling so much healthier and better. It's putting that like kind of bug back in my brain that I need to get it together.
Oh, no, sorry.
Okay.
No, I was checking something on YouTube. Sorry. Don't watch what I'm doing. This is magic.
So the problem
is magic.
That when I can't see Diana and Tom, it really throws me off a little bit. So every time you like...
They're still there. Don't worry.
Go away. It throws me off when I'm just hearing their voices and I can't see their mannerisms. And if Tom's looking to say something next, it just throws me off.
If no one's talking, I'm going to talk. So someone else has to talk.
Tom, talk.
Bother everybody.
Tom, it's your turn. We like to put Tom on the spot.
So there I was, trying to fall asleep last night. I was crashing in the same room that Aaron and Michael are in right now, actually on the bed. That's right
there.
Right there.
Yeah.
Where the magic happened.
Yeah, there's no magic. And there's a tiny kitten in there somewhere.
Oh, he's locked in the bathroom behind us because we didn't want him jumping all over
because he chases everything on the screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was just running circles around that room, and I did not sleep. It was terrible. Thank you for the hospitality, by the way. It was very nice of you. But,
he's 2 months and 2 weeks old. He can't help it.
He's really cute. Really cute.
I don't know. I felt like I slept fine. Like Tom's like, the cat kept me up all night. I was like, I don't know. I slept okay.
Greg said to message him, whatever, on social if you need anything done.
Oh, yes. Awesome.
About the weight loss thing. So,
Michael, what keeps you motivated?
I don't know.
Well, thanks for stopping by.
Being a miser, I don't know.
Being a sex
I need something to be unhappy about. I don't know.
That's why you're with me. I don't know.
Is it avoiding Scooby-Doo?
At this point, I just like I don't know. I just want to maintain some level of fitness. I feel like I've slipped a little bit this past year in that switching over to doing more ultras and stuff. I've gotten a little crazy with the eating, because you're running whatever between 30 and 50 miles a week pretty regularly. It's easy to be like, well, I'll just eat whatever. But I am also 47 years old, so eating whatever is not always the best thing. So I go through phases of eating well and not eating well, and I got to get back to eating well again because I kind of fell off of that train. And it does hurt.
Diet's 80% of it, and then exercise is 20%.
Well, and it hurts too. Like an extra, whatever, 8, 9, 10 pounds. When you're going 30, 40 miles, whatever, is a lot of pounding. Or even when you're doing a marathon or a half, it's just a lot of extra pounding, especially if you're doing that mileage a week. It it does make does have an impact on your legs and stuff like that. So
yeah, and you can justify a lot when you're running a lot. If you're like, oh, I ran 20 miles today. I can eat whatever and you can't, right? Like that's why I think like a lot of people gain weight while they're like training for their first marathon.
Oh, for sure.
So you're telling me I should not have eaten the 6 slices of pizza that I had? Is that where we're going with this? I ran 35 miles. I got 6 slices of pizza. It's not my fault.
You're fine. You're
fine. Fine.
It's all about balance.
I mean, one day we'll eat better. We have good intentions.
I do.
It's like the good intentions of cross training. I have great intentions to do it, and then
I am terrible at cross training.
No, and Tom and I are good because we just like encourage each other. Like we'll want something and we'll just like send each other like a text message sitting on the couch together of like a meme of ice cream or like
oh my God.
And we're like, who's gonna say no? Like we should get it.
Well, I was thinking, like, even last night I was thinking about pizza. Like that was in my brain, and then Diana just said it, and I was like, yes.
Somebody actually said it.
Okay, so since we're on this topic, and I'll just put this question out there. What's the one thing you like to eat after a big workout? You've expelled a lot of calories. You kind of want to pay off, right? I'm not saying let me go get a nice fresh salad. And I don't hate salads, but I'm just saying, like, what's that thing that you're like, I'm going to throw in my face right now?
Do you know what I used to do?
Yeah, usually a burger.
Yeah, I'll agree with the burger, but what I used to do is I'd come home and make a pound of bacon. And the thing is that in my head, I was making this pound of bacon and I was going to save some of it for like meal prep, quote unquote. And I was going to take this bacon and I'd use it and crumble it in my eggs during the week. So I was just going to cook it all up and then I'd use it later. And then what would happen was I'd get back from a 20-mile run. I'd cook this bacon. I'd eat a couple slices with my eggs. And then it'd be out. So I'd eat a little bit more. And then I'd eat a little bit more. And the next thing I knew, I'd eaten a pound of bacon. So bacon. I run for bacon.
Well, technically, I had a BLT yesterday after the run.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I love bacon.
I find it fascinating that you don't like chocolate milk.
It's
or you
disgusting.
don't favor chocolate milk over a chocolate shake after a run.
I wouldn't
They're
drink either.
lactose intolerant.
I don't like
Like,
I
the
can't
both
take
of them.
lactose.
Fine, whatever.
I do.
I don't pay attention to other people. Put it out there.
I do that. What is it? It's not soy milk. Silk. Silk makes a almond cashew chocolate milk that I actually really like. So I used to do that.
Trader Joe's?
No, it's like made by Silk. So it's like, I don't know, at Target. Yeah, I don't know. Target, ShopRite, Aldi. No, not Aldi, because Aldi has their own brand stuff. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Wherever
When me
you
and Diana first
buy.
got together, I drink whole milk.
Ooh.
Blah.
Liquid butter, and she's got me
Blah.
on 1% or 2% now. It's better for you. And I'm
She's
fine
got
with
me on.
Blah.
it. She doesn't have me on it.
That's just what I buy.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. But I haven't had whole milk in a while.
Well, I try and buy like 1%, and then I'll look in there, and he like if I send him to go get milk, he always gets 2%.
that one extra percent makes all the difference.
Gotta have that extra percent. So Greg said burgers for sure, although he's usually not hungry for a little bit after. Yeah, depending on how long it is. Yeah, sometimes it takes like an hour or so to check. Get ready, get your stomach back. Lisa said when she did a Ragnar type race, she wanted to eat after each leg, like everything in the world. Yeah, I'm kind of like that.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Also, Lisa's been doing really good with her diet. She's been like just watching her calories, and she's lost a ton of weight.
That's the way to do it.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Karate, last name Chop, aka Sean, in chat. Cheeseburger and a cold Bud Light, of course.
A Bud
Light?
Get out of here.
Hey,
Do better. Pick better beer.
Karate. Last name Chop. We're disappointed. Where's our craft brews?
Live your life.
just whatever.
Tom's like cheersing his Miller Lite.
Melissa said chocolate milk and or pizza, actually.
Oh, that's good.
And Chrissy said their old tri team would have homemade French fries after the races.
Ooh, homemade.
That sounds good.
Right?
Sounds really good.
I was disappointed.
Oh no, we cannot start the Bud Light wars.
Right.
No, it's karate. It's what karate loves. Love what you love.
You do. You love what you love. I did the Disney in Paris race, and I ran it with Lisa and Chris, who are in the chat. And Lisa has to stop and eat like every 5 seconds on a half marathon. And like I've never run a race like that where they give you like full food on the course.
Wow.
Like they give you like granola bars and they give you apple slices and they give you like so much, and it was like every 3 miles. Or by the end of the race, I was like, I can't possibly eat anything because I've eaten so much on the course. And immediately she was like, where are we going to lunch?
What race was that?
This was at Disneyland Paris. It was like the inaugural Disneyland Paris.
I do like Lisa Johnson said cashew milk, cashew milk is one of the better nut milks, I would say.
Yeah, that's the milk that I was saying, the nut butter. It's like a blend between cashew and almond milk, and it's chocolate cashew milk. I think Silk makes it, and I like it.
And Lisa Chiak, am I saying that right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. She had French toast, Chinese food, and Cold Stone and a waffle cone today.
I had French toast for breakfast today for the first time in like, 2 years? I love some French toast. I can't believe it's been so long.
I had pork roll because we were in Jersey, and that's
when in Jersey. It's Taylor ham.
You had a lot of... technically today it was Taylor pork roll, they called it.
Well, it's because it's That's the whole argument in Jersey. Like
it's
the Taylor
North and
ham.
South Jersey thing, whatever.
I don't even know.
Oh my
I am
gosh.
so disconnected from this argument.
I don't even understand. You're not from Jersey.
Like,
You're
I know
clearly
nothing.
a Philly
Accent
boy.
would suggest otherwise, DMD.
Clearly a Philly boy.
The first time I heard like pork roll Taylor ham, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, who the hell eats that anyway? Like,
oh my God.
who is eating that?
He's totally not
Where does that even happen?
He's not a Jersey boy at all.
I'm like, what?
I don't understand.
I've literally never heard of it growing up.
This is so
at
weird.
all.
So weird.
Well, Erin, our local Jersey girl, explain to the people.
Well, so
Taylor ham and pork roll for those of us who don't know.
I grew up in a house where my mom was from Jersey City. So in North Jersey, it's called Taylor ham. It's really Taylor is the brand name. It's Taylor's ham. And it's pork roll is what it is. And on the package, it says pork roll, but it says Taylor's pork roll. And so if you're from North Jersey, you grew up calling it Taylor ham.
It's like Xerox and a copier.
Yeah. If you grew up down here in South Jersey and most of Central Jersey, you call it pork roll. Central Jersey is the place where it's blended and the argument is more fierce because it just depends on where your parents came from.
Isn't fierce.
It's like if you go on to NewJersey.com's Twitter, like literally if you go on to NewJersey.com or NewJersey.gov's Twitter, there's always arguments about it and it's hilarious. Someone from Jersey back me up here. But no, NewJersey.gov.
Pork roll is from North Jersey.
Yes. NewJersey.gov has this Twitter that's hilarious. They actually troll other states and it's hilarious. I think I sent it to Diana one day because they have it's run by two really funny women who do their social media now. And so they're always trolling people and it's hilarious. And that's one of the things that they talk about a lot is the Taylor ham thing.
Yeah. They're kind of like the Wendy's Twitter people.
Yeah, exactly.
Just go after people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it's an official state website or an official state Twitter.
It's Jimmy's. But
Jimmy's, it's chocolate Jimmy's or rainbow sprinkles.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
That's the preferred nomenclature.
What it is.
Oh no, my God. There are just all sprinkles.
Why?
I've never heard of Jimmy's in my entire life until I came to live in this South place.
Really?
Yes.
They're Jimmy's.
They're sprinkles.
Sure. Anyway.
All right, so
what do we got? What else we got going on in the chat now? I see a lot happened.
Tim DeLaro says, anything breakfast post-race meal with a beer, even better, of course.
Yeah.
It's a debate because I had never heard of it and grew up in Jersey. And basically, Erin was debating with herself all weekend about Taylor ham and pork roll.
Oh my God.
And
meanwhile, I was over
people.
here like ordering Scrapple. So
yeah,
I'm
which
give
is
it
the
a-
real.
Which,
God.
again,
which is
I had
amazing.
never even heard of until I moved to South Jersey.
Yeah, because why would we waste our time with pork roll? It's just Canadian bacon.
Oh, I see Monmouth County in the chat. I'm from Ocean County. And so
Yeah.
I don't know. Monmouth County, did we know what Scrapple was?
Are you saying Mama County?
Monmouth.
What are you saying?
Monmouth County.
It's the accent.
It's the accent.
Whammy.
My gosh, people.
It's the Asian accent.
We're
I
spiraling.
was waiting for that.
Hashtag
Race report.
Hashtag race
Oh
report.
God, people. You're
So-
awful. We're live, you know. We're
Let's
live.
switch gears a little bit.
We
Let's
can't
switch
edit
gears a little bit. Because we've started this super professional podcast.
Yes.
And the first couple episodes were us introducing ourselves individually. I'm interested, what kind of topics would people like to hear us ramble on about for about an hour?
Mm.
Because we are
Knowing
experts.
that we'll do very little research ahead of time, so we'll just talk at you about what we think.
We are experts.
Well, that's what makes us relatable, ish, or something like that.
It's fine.
That we have no idea what we're doing and no idea what we're talking about 99% of the time.
That's a good point. I would like to hear us talk about anything but pork roll. And Karate said favorite gear. I think, we definitely want to do something on gear because we all use different stuff. And yesterday, Tom and Diana got to experience our gear stuff.
Oh my God, it was so intense. All the gear. Like, it was so good. And Kate just texted me that she wants to hear about gear too.
Yeah, we were
So-
loaded down for Bear yesterday and did our quick changeovers at every time we stopped. And
Yeah, I had said for gear that it would be interesting to kind of talk about like how we started
yeah, for
and
sure.
what we used to use versus what we use now, because like the kind of lessons that we've actually learned.
I think that's a good idea.
Because I think that
Yeah, I think everybody goes through a lot of crap gear.
yeah. I mean, I think I had like 1,800 waist belts. I mean, I can't tell you how much money I spent or wasted on like all different water bottles before I figured out what was right.
Well, and I feel like your preferences change over time
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting topic. I agree. We'll work on that one.
My bro texted me. He's out there in the internet world. He said, what keeps us motivated or incentivized to run races? And then also something that's very near and dear to my heart, just the bling, the medals. Like
Oh, yeah.
our favorite medals.
What our favorite medals are?
Oh my God. I love a medal.
I'm actually not a
it is
metal person at all. I know this is
I love it
shocking.
because you've got like two extremes. You've got the person that like doesn't care about medals, and like Tom gets so upset if he signs up for a race and then figures out there's not a medal
Oh my God.
associated.
Oh, you mean
It's
like
he's
Tough
been-
Mudder?
It's like he's been betrayed.
We
Tough
did a
Mudder?
Tough Mudder.
Headband?
And I feel like, and I also don't listen to when people talk to me. So we did a Tough Mudder. We had an awesome name. It was called Team Muddery Nipple. Muddery Nipples. And there's a headband. All you get is a headband.
Oh my God.
It's
Okay,
ridiculous.
we didn't finish anyway. We wouldn't have got the medal anyway. Although you could have. You just chose to leave the course with me.
Yeah, because I'm chivalrous and I had to save you. It wasn't at all because I'm lazy and I'm like, here's an out and I get to take it. In this race.
I mean, I do like medals. Yeah, I do like them, but then I don't display them. So I'm really not, I'm never, they're all kind of in a box. And I wish that I could figure out something to do with them. But I mean, after
Do you
you
have
run,
any wall space? Do you have any walls that don't have any pictures or paintings on them?
yo, stop. Anyway, but after you run, like, I mean, I've run a lot of races. I mean, I'm on like half marathon number 30, marathon number like 10. I don't even know about all the rest of them. Like, where am I going to put them all?
Yeah,
My friend Nikki, she uses them as Christmas ornaments. So she takes like the
yeah, but they're so heavy. Some.
What am I
of them.
going to do with the horseshoe from Bird in Hand? I have 3 of them.
I also like your low-key brag there. You're like, I just have so many medals.
Yeah.
So many. And they're so big and heavy.
You mean like the first place trophy right next to the TV in the living room?
Hey, I wanted to move that, and you're like, no, you should leave that out.
Welcome to my home.
I was first female.
Black.
Some other suggested topics in the chat.
Yes.
Lisa says pre-race nutrition.
Yep.
That's definitely
that was a big
topic.
one for me.
Tom, you're not supposed to be paying attention to that. You're supposed to be paying attention to us.
Hey, do not edit me. I'm sorry.
Michael's supposed to be chatting.
Well, guess who's not doing his job?
Does Michael ever do his job?
Oh, running tights, Greg. All right. I will say that I tried running tights for like a couple of years. I think I actually wore them under, like, I don't wear them alone. I will wear shorts over them because I feel like it's disturbing not to.
Don't be afraid of the bulb.
Yeah,
just embrace it.
So anyway, I wear shorts over them, but regardless, I went away from tights completely and just got lightweight like running pants for the wintertime.
Oh, that's what Tom did.
Yeah.
Tom also doesn't like it because I call his like little shorties that he wears under his like mesh shorts, his running panties, and he doesn't appreciate that. So
she's always like, "Did you put on your running panties before you go out today?" And I'm like, "Yes, dear."
Yeah, and I'll run in shorts most weather unless it's really, really, really cold, like below 20, or really, really windy. You know.
Yeah,
I'll put
also
on long
going to talk
pants
about
if
that
it's
as
windy.
a topic as well, like running in different weather.
Yeah.
Because I think we're all kind of different on like what we prefer.
I mean, if we're going to talk about men's shorts and pants, we should talk about how women's shorts suck.
Yeah.
Like there's like not anything like, can I get a pocket? Like what? It took till like 2 years ago for them to be like, oh, women want pockets too?
Well, don't you? Never mind.
Aaron, let me just clue you in on something that you may not know, but women's clothing is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because I'll go shopping with Diana, and we'll go to the mall, and we'll go to 3 stores, and she'll buy 3 shirts, and they're in 3 different sizes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
I can 2XL basically wherever I live.
No,
and I go.
And pant sizes, I can be 3 different pant sizes depending on the store. It's very annoying. But yeah, I mean, even running shorts, I'm medium in some, and I'm a small in others, and I'm an extra small in some others. Like there's just no rhyme or reason.
Yeah. Well, so in the chat, Greg was asking about the running tights, and I would say, fitting wise, it's tough. Like, because if they're big, then they feel like baggy and weird. I would just try a couple different brands if you really want to go with the tights. But honestly, for me, I prefer like the really lightweight pants, jogging pants or whatever they're called, or running pants. I think I have like Ball Leaf or something, BALEAF or something.
Those are the shorts I just bought.
Yeah, like they're not like expensive or anything, and they're relatively lightweight and breathable, but they're warm enough, but they're not tights. But if you really want tights, you're just gonna try a couple different pairs. I bought like the cheap Tesla ones on or the cheaper Tesla ones on Amazon. I guess it's like their brand, their cheap brand or whatever. But I didn't have a lot. Like I wore them a couple times, but I just didn't prefer them. First, like if you have to like stop or anything, like any bathroom breaks, I just feel like the sweatpants or the jogging pants or whatever you want to call them are super way easier, like to just take down and get back up, you know, because they're not tight. And then we get sweaty, they're not tight, so it's just much easier to maneuver. But I would assume like Ryan said, he uses the Nike ones and he likes those. But I would assume like the better brands are going to be a little easier to use anyway. But yeah, no, like tights are tough. I think it depends. Yeah, just I would try a couple pairs, try a pair first, and see if you even like them. Because obviously he's coming from Florida, so he can't like really get used to cold weather because it's never cold.
Not really cold there.
So,
unless it's like marathon weekend and then it's either 90 degrees or 23 degrees.
Yeah,
There's
so you're talking
a
couple days a year where it's actually chilly. So that is tough. But I would try a pair of tights and a pair of pants and just see what you prefer.
Yeah, I think Chris Chiak wears tights in the winter sometimes.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I know
very
a lot
much. He runs hot, so he's most of the times he's in shorts. But I feel like I've run stuff with him where he's been in tights, but I don't know what brand.
I mean, I've definitely worn them.
On, comment.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely worn them, but not enough. I tried them. They were one of the things, like the gear things that I used, and then like fell by the wayside after a while because I found it easier to use the pants.
All right,
that's an awkward pause.
Weird.
When we have these, Michael can just edit them out normally, so you don't normally have to worry about awkward pauses. But now here we are live. Anybody have any questions? Ask your hosts. I don't know.
Let's see.
And before you ask the obvious, I got into the business by doing print mostly, print modeling, some runway, but it's just the politics behind it are ridiculous.
So did you have to get out? Is that what the problem was?
I just wanted to move on. I wanted to explore other things.
Yeah, I would. Lisa was asking about pre-race nutrition.
Oh, is that like a topic she wants to hear? Is that what you're saying?
That was back a little bit.
Yeah,
I went back a little bit.
Yeah. That's a good topic. What do we eat before our races?
And I feel like
then what do we do?
Good about that. And now I've just fallen to the wayside.
But we can, again, talk about what we used to do versus what we do now and what worked the bbest. And why we should do it.
Like, me doing nothing now is not helping me. So, I don't know. I used to be like, I'd like lay out all my stuff the night before and I'd be like glided up no matter like how far I was running. And I'd like have like certain meals for certain distances I was going. And it worked so well. And now I'm just like, I guess I should run. And I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but it's not right.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm going to go out the door.
I'll tell you what.
And it's not.
What not to do is have a large Pakistani meal the night before a 20-mile trail run. With spicy food.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. We had Mexican food the other night before. Food doesn't really like. I will say that the day before food doesn't really affect me the same way I think it affects other people. I mean, I used to have a go-to meal that I don't really do anymore. Although I kind of actually did it at the Mexican place because they had a steak there and mashed potatoes. They were just Chipotle mashed potatoes. But I usually used to do like steak and sweet potato, steak and potato.
I've had some very bizarre pre-race meals. I did the Big Beach Marathon in Alabama, Gulf Shores, Alabama. And so I went to the supermarket and I bought veggie dogs, prepackaged guacamole, flour tortillas.
Wow.
And microwaved the hot dogs in my room and ate them with guacamole. That was my marathon. Pre-race marathon.
I cannot with this.
I'm embarrassed for you.
I'm embarrassed for me. This was before I was around, though, so it's fine.
Well,
it's fine.
I don't know. I think it's also like a placebo effect with me as well. Like if I eat something slightly bizarre, like the day before, and I don't even see bizarre, but like not my normal, like I'm just like, I've got like anxiety about it. So I'm like, I think this is going to make me feel weird. So I just let it make me feel weird. And then I'm not happy. So I don't even know if it's like the actual meal or just me like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Well, sometimes before a race that we're doing with friends, we'll use the pre-race meal as like an excuse to get together.
Absolutely.
And so we'll go to like an Italian restaurant and get pasta or whatever.
Yeah. I hate when
and,
people want to go to Italian restaurants. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't really do the whole carb load thing.
Every year at Marine Corps, they always want to go to do the Italian, and I don't. It's not me. I don't do.
I love Italian.
I like Italian food, just not before a race.
I basically carb load every day of my life. Anyway.
The tomato sauce is way too acidic, and it just doesn't sit well in my stomach. That is one of the only things that doesn't sit in my stomach.
So in the chat, Ryan wants to know one race we've always wanted to run. We haven't run yet. Greg, we were talking about some running shorts, so I recommended ones with liners as opposed to, so you can go without the underwear, go commando. I actually used to run with basketball shorts commando. You bounce a little bit, but it's very
my
I have so many thoughts right now.
What about? I mean, that brings us to the chafing episode that we want to do.
Can I finish the chat, please?
No.
And Karate likes to run on an empty stomach before an early race, but we'll do a bagel with peanut butter later if it's later.
Oh, see, I did. That's what I did yesterday. Was the bagel with peanut butter. So this whole basketball short thing, real quick. I'm gonna go to Ryan's question right after because he's actually asking real questions versus whatever's happening over here. But I mean, bouncing, isn't that an issue with like chafing?
No, as long as you're buttered up and all,
Okay. We're gonna go on into chafing at some point too. That's a plan. Where squirrels not butter, people. Squirrels not butter.
Just butter. I mean, I just think because like. Aaron and I also had this conversation the other day about how it's like physically impossible for like a woman to do any type of activity without a sports bra on.
Yes.
Like I had to do like as part of our little like what are we calling it? Jumping into July or Jan.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're doing this like little workout challenge. And I was just sitting on the couch in a big t-shirt without a bra and I was like, well, maybe I'll try and do some of whatever. And I did one and I had to immediately go put a sports bra on. I can't like with a guy with like not having any support at all while you're running, I just don't understand like why that wouldn't cause some type of discomfort because immediately I had discomfort by doing like a jumping jack or a whatever.
Yeah, I agree. All right, back to Ryan.
Back to real life.
Yeah, back to the chat asking real questions. We do plan on doing a bucket list type episode that's on our list of things. We have a long list of things. We just wanted to hear what you guys also thought because, as listeners, maybe you had different ideas than us. But I have quite the long list of bucket list races. One of my bucket list races was supposed to get checked off this year at Big Sur, but
I want to do Big Sur, but I don't think I can do the marathon. But I want to do the 20 miler?
Yeah,
21 miler. Yeah, 21 miler. Yeah,
I think I want to do that one year.
Yeah, that's on my bucket list, and I think we're deferred to 2022 because again, we felt like maybe 2021 with a destination type race and wanting to plan an actual vacation around it might be asking a lot.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
we waited. We did the 2-year deferral.
Yeah, I feel like it's a more reasonable time frame.
Tom, what about you? Is there a specific bucket list race that you want to throw out there?
I'm all about the medal. So that Arkansas.
Oh, that big, giant,
huge medal.
Is that like the Little Rock one or something?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's a very generous.
But you'd have to do the marathon.
Yeah, but you get 8 hours to do a marathon.
Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure because they do have the half marathon that goes off the same weekend to the big medal versus the little medal. They shrink it.
Go big.
Go big or go home.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And there's a couple other that when we talk about this, like that I'm definitely interested in, because people just talk about the on-course support, like Space Coast.
Yeah,
love to do that one year.
Yeah,
and some other ones, but.
Diana, is there one that just stands out in your mind right now?
I'm trying to think. I know Big Sur is definitely on my list. I don't know. I've always wanted to do one in Hawaii just because I think it'd be beautiful.
Yeah.
So I think that's on my, but it'd be so hilly. So I don't know.
One of my closer friends moved to Hawaii last year, like literally picked up her entire life and just quit her job or got transferred, and her husband quit his job and they moved to Hawaii. I was like, that's
Why
awesome.
not? Just do
mine
it.
as well. their kids were young enough that they didn't care, so they just up and moved to Hawaii. So that's on my list as well.
Yeah, Lisa Johnson said Little Rock has lots of hills. Ryan, Big Sur and Little Rock, definitely on his list. Big Sur is amazing. I love it. I'll run it every year. Tom, I think you'd love Rock and Roll Vegas at Night from Lisa Chiak.
Ooh, that's on my list too.
Chris wishes.
We're also talking about doing New Orleans.
New Orleans. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Chris wishes Ragnar Florida Keys was still a thing. Yeah, I would have loved to have tried that as well.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
And Lisa Johnson also said the Birmingham, Alabama has the Mercedes medal. That's the Mercedes Marathon. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the one that our friend Anita does every year, I think.
Oh, and Greg was saying Rock and Roll Vegas is on his list for 50 state list. I would say another Vegas one to look at is there's a midnight one that runs on the what do I call it? The extraterrestrial highway. They take you out there at night and you run at night in the desert along the highway. This whole
thing sounds like my nightmare. I don't know why.
And then there is I believe there's one at Red Rock Canyon.
Everything Michael does is your nightmare, Diana.
Yeah.
No, it's just every time he talks, I'm like, this is just the worst thing I've ever heard.
I think Michelle actually did it.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, the one at night. But then there's also one in Red Rock Canyon in Vegas, I believe, is a full marathon, it's hilly, but it's beautiful. I mean, I've done running there in general on the trails, but not. But this is on the road. They closed the road. Yeah, it goes by area, like quote unquote Area 51, whatever, on the highway up that way. But I would check those two out. They're smaller races. They're not down the strip, but they're different. Might be something interesting and different. And Ryan said New Orleans is a blast.
Yeah, I guess with other people, you wouldn't be scared.
Yeah, I mean, they're running a race out there. It's not like, it does get dark, but I don't know. I mean, I would, I don't know, bucket list race of ones that I could realistically get into. What's the, God.
If you say Barkley.
Oh, no. No.
Is Javelina on your bucket list?
I would like to do Javelina. Yeah. Javelina 100.
Yeah. That one's got like a rave in the middle of it.
Yeah, one of the 8 stations is a rave. In the middle of the desert.
In the middle of the desert.
That's pretty cool. That's the 8 station I'll be working.
That one, and what's the one up in wine country, the 50 miler?
In California?
Yeah. Like
I'm
Marin
not sure.
County. I forget the name of it. I forget, but there's one up there that I would like to do. Maybe the San Diego 100.
Yeah, there's I mean, obviously our some of our bucket lists, which I didn't bring up, I guess, because I don't know.
They aren't like, these are just like ones I could actually sign
like Western
up for.
States. Leadville, are they on your list?
No, because I can't realistically
get
do
into
them. Yeah.
I mean, UTMB, like there's like things that I would like dream of doing, these like big ultra races that are in the mountains and on. But I mean, like he said, the realistic nature of it's like getting into like the idea of getting into Boston. It's just never going to happen. You have to qualify for them. You have to earn points. Like it's not realistic. But are they on my bucket list dream list? Absolutely. There's some amazing things out there, and there's probably a ton that I don't even know about, especially in the ultra world. On like, the West Coast, Tahoe. I'd like to run it in Tahoe sometime.
Oh, that'd be really pretty.
They do 3 straight marathons in Tahoe.
Yeah. So
you can do all 3. You can do all 3 in one day, but you have to have your own crew and self-support it. Or you can do the one each day, because the 72-mile loop around the lake or whatever it is. So, or the Tahoe Rim Trail also.
I like how you're talking about doing the 100-milers, and me and Diana are like, we want to do that 5K from the Christmas Story house.
Oh, I would want to do that too, though.
Dressed as Ralphie.
But I would do those kinds of things too. Like I'd say like both. I like variety.
Hey, we love it all.
He doesn't do as much variety as me. Yeah. I like it all.
Yeah. Until that which must not be named happened this year. We were actually planning on doing the Christmas Story run this year. That was kind of on our list. But
Greg, I did not read your text before I even said that. But yes, I said Hard Rock, Western States, and UTMB. Well, all three of them, I said the same thing.
Lake Sonoma 50.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Chris said he'd love to do Wildflower out in California.
What's Wildflower? That sounds like, is it like in fields of wildflowers?
I don't know.
Now I want to look that up.
And Lisa said Wildflower or the one in Lone Pack, Hearts and Flowers. And Chris said the 70.3.
Oh, the triathlon. Yeah. He's half Iron Manning.
Yeah.
At one point in my life, I thought that maybe I'd want to do something like that. And having the endurance training, I thought that I could do something like a 70.3. I'm great on a bike and I can run, but I can drown. And so
I'll teach you how to swim.
I don't think
that's actually true.
I mean, like, if you fall off of a bike, you're falling down on the bike, right? If you don't want to run anymore, you just walk. If you don't want to swim, you drown.
You just float.
No, you drown. What? You drown.
Also, Tom is magnificent in the water, so he could help you.
I don't think we were friends the year I triathloned. I think that was before I knew you guys. Yes, there was a year I triathloned, and I had a pool noodle that I would take into the lake with me, and I'd tie it around my ankle.
Aaron.
His name was Alfred. I named him. And I'd tie him around my ankle and drag it along so that when I got tired in the lake, I would just hold on to Alfred for a while.
It just doesn't sound safe. It sounds like the opposite of safe. Like, I don't know why that sounds less safe than just swimming on your own.
And then I decided that it just wasn't happening. I didn't like open water. I can swim in a pool. I just can't. The open water scared me too much.
No, I have an irrational fear of open water as well.
So
I don't think it's irrational. There's sharks. Excuse me.
Okay, there's no sharks in the lake I was swimming in. There was no lake sharks, unless you're talking about Nessie, maybe.
Oh, Nessie.
I don't believe in Nessie, so.
Wow, that's political.
You don't believe in magic.
Oh, that's political.
You have no wonder in your life.
Sorry, I went there. I went.
Lisa's seen you in a pool. So.
Is it magnificent?
It's just a lot of flailing.
Chris said the wetsuit's so much easier, and Lisa Chiak said she's only ever done tries in a wetsuit. So.
Oh, yeah. See, I didn't have a wetsuit. I had just a I don't know, whatever. Try top, try bottom.
A onesie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of those.
I wouldn't mind doing the JFK 50.
Oh, yeah, that was on my list for this year, actually, because that falls on my birthday.
Yeah.
And now...
It's like the oldest 50 miler in the country.
Maybe for my 40th birthday. Next year.
You're not 40 yet?
No.
I almost signed up for a swim event.
So random. Our transitions are amazing.
But near Luray, Virginia, I guess.
Okay.
There's a lake, and there's a Luray swim event where you could do, 1 lap, 2 laps, or 3 laps. I forget the actual distance. And like, they had a really good YouTube video, and I was all about it for about 10 seconds. And then
that was the end of that.
And then
he was like, I think I'm gonna sign up for this thing in the Ray. And I was like, when was the last time you were in a pool? Like, so you're gonna have to do something.
In New Jersey, they have the Escape the Cape, and as part of it, you jump off the back of the ferry. So the ferry that goes between Delaware and New Jersey. This race, the swim start, or the start of the race, is you jump off the back of the ferry into the bay. And they also have just an open water swim. That's part of it, where you don't have to do the triathlon. You just do a swim, but it's like a 1 mile swim. So you jump off the back of the ferry into the open water and then swim a mile to shore.
45 years ago, there was a documentary called Jaws. That really sums up why open water swimming is terrifying.
Which is about a shark in New Jersey, actually. It was inspired by shark attacks off the coast of New Jersey.
Did you know that, Tom?
Of course I knew that.
Okay.
Even if I didn't know that, I knew that.
Let's see. Chris used to do triathlons at Lake Arrowhead every year. Interesting. Where's Lake Arrowhead? Down by you guys?
Oh, I don't know.
I have no idea.
And Greg's looking for an excuse to get to Japan. He's trying to get into the Osaka Marathon.
Ooh, love that.
Which would be cool. Probably be easier than Tokyo is like a major, right?
Yeah, Tokyo is one of the...
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
What else we got? Anything?
I don't know.
I mean, it's been just over... it's already 9:30.
Time flies.
When you're having so much fun with your friends.
Okay. Well, this is our second show of the day, actually.
It is.
Yeah.
Poor Diana and Tom have seen way too much of Michael and Erin.
For some reason, I'm very tired.
I don't know why you would be. Like you did anything.
It's those 5,000 steps Tom got, right? That's why Tom's tired.
That's true.
Or the kitten that dreamt all over him all night.
Tom just had a time. Like, what else is going on with you? You were hot.
Oh, yeah. There was no fan.
No fan. He wants us to install a ceiling fan for him next time.
It's okay. He has that same feedback for the Cheoks.
Oh, my God.
I know this is...
Everyone who welcomes them into their home.
This is going to be hard to believe, but I hate ceiling fans.
Just add it to the list.
Seriously.
Tom was like, thanks for the hospitality. I have some notes on your home.
I am anti-ceiling fan. I'm pro-fan, but anti-ceiling fan.
He's so weird. I don't know how this happens.
At some point, you're just going to steal a small village's Christmas for no reason.
I often wonder about him. Oh, and on that note,
should we shameless plug for reviews?
Absolutely,
Sure.
Guys. 5-star reviews, Apple Podcast. Who's on? Make an account. Make an account for us.
Make 3 accounts.
I was just gonna say, make multiple accounts. 5 stars, guys.
And then vote in our polls for me whenever they come up.
You cheater.
And apparently I'm supposed to come up with a segment. So send your segment ideas to Diana because I got nothing.
This is all a preview for your next episode.
I'll give everybody who's here live, I will give a preview of the I'll give everybody the Would You Rather for next time. I gotta open my notes because I don't remember.
It's horrifying.
It's horrifying.
This was the hardest choice, I think. So
I'm not gonna. Okay, so really, Diana's serious. She was supposed to make a segment for this episode that we recorded today, but for some reason, she thought we were all 3 of us were joking.
I don't know why you would want me to contribute anything real to this. I didn't even want
we have now all made a segment in some way, and we're like, Diana, next time's your turn, and she's like, oh, okay. And then we thought she knew that it was her turn, and then suddenly we're recording and she's like, guys, or this morning she's like, I really don't have anything.
You were not taking this serious enough.
Yeah, she's just the talent. So Michael came up with a last minute Would You Rather.
Yes, okay.
And so now you get the preview because you're here live with us.
Here's a special preview. All right, so this was inspired by our run yesterday. So once a week during a run, you develop a blister under your big toenail. Sometimes it bursts, sometimes it heals quickly, but you never lose your nail. Or every run, a fly follows you and buzzes around your head for the entire time. It doesn't bite, but it's constantly in your hair, in your face, in your mouth, in your ears, the whole entire time you run.
In your hair bun?
Yeah.
I hate it.
And this was inspired because of my toe, which I won't lift up and show to the camera.
You should not.
Please don't.
My beautiful feet.
Oh, God, stop.
As Diana saw them while we were watching Christmas Ferrets last night.
More previews for the episode. More previews. Aren't you guys glad you're here?
All right. So the would you rather is either the toe toenail blister,
Yes,
or the fly on your face.
Oh,
It's
let me just
just
tell you
awful.
how annoying flies are. As a trail runner, the flies in South Jersey, specifically in the Pine Barrens, and if my friend Kurt was here, he would go ahead and vouch for that because he stopped running the Jersey trails for the same reason. The flies are just awful, and they follow you. Like it gets in your by your hair, and then it just follows you.
Are they
for
big?
like miles? Yes, they're
It's probably because of all the pork roll they're eating. It's delicious.
Oh, all right, Tom. Why don't you take us out?
This was super fun. Thank you, everyone who's been following along and listening to us. Some of it's nonsense, some of it's whatever.
Some of it.
We really appreciate it. We very much appreciate everybody listening. Everyone who's listened to the podcast. Love to hear your feedback, your ideas, sharing your stories. We love to cheer you on. Just this little sense of community that we're building is really neat. So let's keep going.
Yeah, I agree.
And yeah, so we're very excited to be pushing out new episodes every other Monday. All of our social media. I'm not going to go into that, but thank you again. And so I guess I'll sign us off for Aaron, Michael, and Diana. Everyone have a great evening and a wonderful week, and we will see you soon.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
Tom
you for
doesn't know
joining.
this.
Oh,
Yeah, Tom doesn't know this, but I'm about to make him watch a Hallmark Christmas movie.
have fun, Tom.
it's better than a Marvel movie.
Good night, everyone. Oh, just
All right,
stop.
just end
Just
it.
stop.
Just
Just end
stop
it
it.
now. Just
We're
end
out.
it
Peace.
now. Good night.